The Only Ones, the Immortal story. Back when I was out most nights playing or rehearsing, I used to do temp agency jobs. At one job I found myself packaging perfume bottles in Perivale with a much older man. One day he told me that I sounded like I was on drugs. I wasn't, but I knew what he meant. I was no stranger to the odd jazz cigarette, but I took the music and driving too seriously to want to voluntarily impede myself. It was not the sound of drugs in my voice, but the sound of indifference and contempt, which is actually quite a similar noise. A friend of mine bought the Only Ones single Lovers of Today, and we both declared it perfect. Like Lou Reed singing with Marquee Moon era television. The singer, Peter Perrett, really did sound like he was on drugs. And he was. During the brief time the Only Ones were in the spotlight, Peter Perrett was living it up at his own party. And as we all know, a party can start all ha-ha he and end up with someone losing an eye. We went to see the Only Ones at the Marquee, though we only knew the single and the B-side. But the rest of the set sounded promising, especially the song they announced as their next single, Another Girl, Another Planet. And what a song! A song still played on the radio and covered by covers bands. If you watch the film London Town, which is a fictional story featuring Joe Strummer of The Clash, you will see a scene where a lone guitarist is backing a solo female singer in a pub. They are performing Another Girl, Another Planet. If you are familiar with the Wycombe music scene based around the Bellevue pub, you might recognise the guitarist as the legendary axe hero Rick Cunningham. And you might ask yourself why Rick Cunningham, but you will never stop to wonder why Another Girl, Another Planet. On this compilation, the early songs have a ragged, shambolic charm. They have almost structureless structures, like Syd Barrett's solo songs. It sounds like they either don't know the rules, or else they just want to tear up the rulebook. This oddness keeps you hooked. You want to keep listening to them in the hope that you might fathom them out. Peter Perrett phrases lyrics like a Cockney Morrissey, or even Jilted John. In the song No Peace for the Wicked, the title line is repeated numerous times, but each time with a different phrasing. There are others of their early tracks where they still sound a bit indie before indie was even a thing. Songs like Even Serpents Shine and The Immortal story. But as the album progresses, so the songs become more normal. Simple beats with obvious verses and choruses. It is very good, but it does look like they were being made to come up with another hit, or even some stadium rock anthems, like a new Squeeze. And there was nothing wrong with Squeeze, but we had Squeeze, and what we needed was the oddness of early Only Ones. As a follower of the pub rock scene, and as someone who had played in a band in London, it seemed there were always bands who just had to plug in for you to feel the electricity. Bands with a frontman, often in leopard pattern and cowskin, who looked like rock stars even in Sainsbury's. Iggy's and Ziggy's hanging off the mic stand, stoned immaculate. It was a news story recently that Peter Perrett had recovered from drug addiction and was back. But I would not want to see a sad, barely recognisable creature that was once briefly a hero. The Immortal story. The Only Ones.